No secret, Man United midfield was the final puzzle to solve given that the quality of certain players like Bruno, Casemiro and the staple for a Marine choice, besides it contains other options like a bench like Agate and Mainu, ready to take the starting role. However, Man United profile quote Emery's system, midfielders have been more than desired. Bruno is capable of playing on the double pivot, but was not his favourite position. Casemiro's age and legs had only going downwards despite his midfield control plus experience was still a key trait. While Ugarte is a typical destroyer role with expandable ball playing, but was horrendous when it comes to press resisting. While Maiden profile-wise was the best midfielder for a Marine, yet his lack of physical tool when it comes to defending, making him not eye to eye with the Portuguese manager. Hence, given Man United's strengthened midfield was all that inevitable, but there were a number of targets under the transfer rumours. So in this video, we'll have a look at some of the players categorized on the style of play associated with Man United and determine the priority list. In case you didn't know, what is up ladies and gentlemen, I'm Marvin, codename CM. Welcome and welcome to the Co-United channel once again. If you in any shape or form stumble into this channel and somehow some way like this kind of content, do please like, share and subscribe to this channel as each of your precious subscription will be massive motivation for me to upload new content. And don't forget to ring the notification bell for every new upload. With that said, let's get straight into the video. First, we need to have our eye on an all-rounder ball carrier midfielder. In this category, we have Carlos Baleba and Ederson. But ball carrier midfielders' positive trait was quite self-explanatory. They thrive the ball on their feet, pushing the tempo, responsible carrying the play up front, either to the final third or spinning out of the opponent press, bring the ball to the favourable position. But this type midfielder often contains some of the best traits that many clubs wish to have, like stamina for days, explosive pace and immense physical tool. Best example for this type of midfielder no doubt would be Rodri from Man City and Declan Rice from Arsenal. As for Baleba and Ederson, both share a similar traits that both of them having an explosive speed, combining strong ball carrying ability and a powerful physical body that capable to withstand any incoming defensive action. And their last season, both have quite the identical stats, but with Ederson having a better numbers, given Atalanta last season having one of the best run in years, together with top 4 possession and top 3 in total take-ons attempts. On majority thanks to Ederson being the second most touches within the Atalanta club squad and the most carries. Baleba on the other hand, the young Brighton had already shown a massive upside, and Baleba illustrates his wide range of coverage, hardworking and incredible strong press resistance, usually play as a deepest midfield and a main outlet, receive the ball on his feet and spin out of pressure. Besides that, proved to be both having a massive work rate as a midfielder, that both were at the 90th percentile when it comes to ball recoveries, more than show their willingness to take the extra step to help the team recover the ball. But the only differences between them was their defensive style. Baleba was more of an aggressor, front-footed presser, very eager to jump on pressing the opponent, while retain the stamina, rush to other players even when the ball was passed around. As for Ederson was more calculated approach, hence a very low number of tackle attempts, while in long stay and anticipation able to disrupt the passing lane, making him a higher percentage of dribbled tackles and a very low number of the loss. But in the end, under the midfielder trend that to having an all-rounder ball-carrying central midfielder had to be a must that insert control and necessary athletic ability, but do note that both center midfielder was not known as the passing maestro, whereby they can make more impact on the other areas. Both Baleba and Ederson was the obvious choice, yet their price tag was something to think about, particularly Baleba, whom Brighton wanted a humongous 150 million, but made Ederson 50 million far more reasonable choice. Despite that, in comparison, Baleba was a younger and hungrier individual compared to the Brazilian. Second midfielder was the Regista specialist, categorized whom was Adam Wharton, and maybe sleeper choice Angelo Steeler from Stuttgart. Regista was not new term for football, it had been a position, probably had been longer than we expected. But the role is basically the quarterback of football, responsible reading the game in a deeper position, controlling the flow of the game by either a short or a long passing. One of the best example is for these players was Andre Pirlo, Toni Kroos and Sergio Busquets. Unlike the previous mentioned ball carrier, this type of midfielders were more on a specialist role where they do not have the most gifted physical tool, rather some of them was hideous like a stamina or foot speed. But they were far more advanced in their footballing IQ and a game reading ability. While the presence of the team will be a night and day for a team that relies on their skill set. But however, due to their important skill set provided to the team, plus the downside may not be the most intense footballer, they have to pair with another strong, dynamic and a hardworking midfielder. While coming back to Wharton and Steeler, both fit into their Regista role, with the Englishman was more typical one, The Crystal Palace midfielder has been in Man United and other teams' radar for a long time due to the fact Wharton have the time to present his highly rated passing ability from a deeper position, while Crystal Palace, often the team that gives up possession, happy to sit back, stay compact as a team, make a quick counter-attacking thanks to Wharton's precise long passing, while according to the FB report, Wharton sits as a 93 percentile with a 7.31 progressive passing, illustrate his creative, daring forward passing. But on the Bundesliga side, N'Golo Steele has quietly emerged as one of the most anticipated deep-lying playmaker for the Stuttgart. Some call him the heir to Joshua Kimmich in the Germany, while the German international biggest asset no doubt will be his variety of accurate passing. The FB report shows his all kinds of green, long, medium, short, you name it. Like Kimmich, Steele has the most touches and passes attempted for Stuttgart, with the team play mostly go through him, and Steele's ability to dictate the tempo, combining deliver razor-sharp breaking the lines passing, has Stuttgart this season on the top 3 just behind RB Leipzig and Bayern. But even though both Wharton and Steele were incredible as a passing maestro, they were not slow on the defensive end, in fact was far more mobile when being asked to press the opponent. But often teams will try to give them space and the ball for them to allow them to be more expressive and the possible unlock defenses with their passing. But in the end, Wharton was a Premier League proven midfielder, compete in the most intense league, but his high asking price will be the gating one. But for Steele, almost same profile, probably having the cheaper price tag, yet he spent most of his career in Bundesliga, whereby we have not seen many midfielders thrive or success in the Premier League, whereby it will be a risk in place. Lastly, the unicorn or central midfielder, whereby many teams had their eyes on the same time, had already shown his quality of talent in the international stage. His midfield did not fall to any specific category. In fact, he was so well-rounded in many aspects as a midfielder. That fellow is none other than the recent rising star, Ederson from Nottingham Forest. Ederson, along with Forest, in the last season seen massive success, finishing in top 6 in the league table, and the recent English international was without his contribution. Ederson shown his quality that had rarely seen as a complete since the introduction of Rodri. Just let the stats speak for himself. Ederson had it all: the passing, ball carrying, defensive intensity, and the only knockbacks for him easily the goal contribution, but was not his main priority. But in the recent England match against Andorra, Tuchel experimented the midfield without the go-to Declan Rice. Ederson was chosen and stepped up massively, responsible for advancing the ball or breaking up the play. Basically, England made him the focal point of everything. Where Ederson finished the match with the most passes and touches says so much of his importance, and the former Chelsea coach praised him very good player. Combining with the Chelsea captain Rhys James, commended Ederson a phenomenal player. In the club side, Ederson can be described a one-man midfielder that capable every aspect with very top level. Responsible receive the ball from deep and play make, running the box to box either score or defense, and lastly his willingness to get dirty and tackle the opponent. Hence why Ederson was very complete midfielder you can ask for. However, an English international playing on the Premier League side, his transfer fee will be enormous, ranging from 55 to 70 million pounds, a thing that Man United really need to consider very hard. Round back to Man United priority, while under Amorim double midfield pivot meant that the midfield required traits like high intensity work rate, both offense and the defense. One of them will need an elite ball playing duty, while the other will much more on the ball carrying one. This meant that Man United in the coming transfer window need at least 2 mentioned midfielders, and to me the priority goes like this. This Man United need to get Ederson and Anderson, both having their pros that complement each other well. Ederson provides the defensive solidity and the ball carrying that rival the best player in the league, while Anderson on the other hand will give the playmaking from deep and well-rounded skill set that Man United really desire. So if Man United to sell Ugarte, the possible either Bruno or Menu to make this and make that Ederson and Anderson a must to have. While Baleba was on a heavy rumors, even the player himself's willingness to join, but to pay out 150 million for him will be a massive risk. The fact that we'll be choose to have more players into the squad than spending way too much on one. That's the end of the video. What do you guys think? Do you agree the choice or priority that Man United should focus, or you have other players in mind and to have Man United move for? Comment down below so they can have a discussion. And you all enjoyed this video. I'll see you all in the next one.